Do you ever wake up and wonder if you're doing this whole life thing right? Like, is there a map or something to kind of show us where to go and which path to take? Like, don't you just wish somebody could just lay it all out for you and tell you exactly what to do, where to go, when to do this, when to do that, and just kind of give you like instructions and guides so that way you could follow the right path and just get to a point where you really feel like you're living out your purpose. I'm sure everybody knows by now that there isn't really a roadmap to figuring out our purpose, you know? It's just something that we have to figure out as we go in life. I can remember like a few years back, even like up until super recently, I was definitely super lost, kind of felt like I was wandering aimlessly, you know, just trying things, doing things that just weren't in alignment with who I am and what like my true purpose might be. And even now, like, I haven't fully figured it out, but I still feel like I'm on the right path, the right journey to getting closer to that. You know, like, I do feel like I'm walking in alignment right now. There was a pretty big period in my life where I had no idea what I was gonna do, what I was supposed to be doing. And nothing felt right to me. Nothing sat right with me. I think I would get an amazing opportunity, and you know, the opportunities would be amazing, and I don't regret anything I do in my life, but there were just some certain things that like just didn't click, you know, and I just knew that I had to move. I had to get out of that place, get out of that situation, get out of that job, whatever the case may be. And sometimes, you know, I would make those decisions, or sometimes, you know, an external force would kind of force me out, and kind of force me to move, force me to make shifts in my life. The reason I want to talk about this topic like today is because I am still figuring things out for myself. I still don't know exactly what my purpose is, but I do think it's gonna start to reveal itself for me now that I do feel like I'm living life in a way that is very light. I basically had no idea if I was doing the right things that were gonna, you know, lead me up into this point. But like, now that I think about it, every single thing I did that wasn't in alignment with myself, you know, has led me up until this point. So sometimes you have to figure out the things you don't like, to figure out the things you don't want. Get rid of all the things you don't want in your life for you to start realizing what you do want in your life, especially if you don't know right off the bat. Like me, for example, just with like basketball and, you know, that kind of being the center of my existence, you know, I really had to make a shift and really figure out who I was without that aspect of my life. Or how could I take the game of basketball and use that to inspire other parts of my life and other parts of my interests, so that way I can continue to walk the path that I'm led to walk. So first, let's talk about some signs that you are on the right path. I think number one, and probably the most important, is like, do things feel light and happy and whole, or do things kind of feel like super draining and super heavy? I think a sign that you may not be on the right path is just, is this thing draining your energy? Are you living every day feeling completely drained, like you have nothing else to give? Are you experiencing dread when you have to go to things, when you have to show up at certain places? Like, you really have to tap in and check in with yourself and make sure that at the end of the day, what you're doing every day feels good to you. Do what feels light. Do what lights your heart on fire. Nobody wants to sit there and do things that are completely draining you of all your energy. You know, I've been in multiple situations where I'm thinking, where at the start I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna be all fun and rainbows, and turns out like every day I just will come back home completely drained of my energy. But it's just like, there's just certain things that just were not filling my cup. It was kind of like emptying me. It was kind of just draining me. And even though I would try to like fit myself into these boxes, try to fit myself to kind of fit the mold of whoever I felt like I needed to be to fulfill that role, like that just didn't work out for me. That just is never gonna work out for you. You should never have to shrink yourself. You should never have to dim yourself down when you're walking in your purpose, when you're walking in your right path, you know, and it's gonna feel right. It's gonna feel good in your intuition. It's gonna feel good on your heart. It's not gonna feel so heavy. Another sign that you're on the right path would just be, are you growing and learning? Like, are you kind of making yourself uncomfortable and pushing yourself in this area? If you find yourself learning new things and figuring out new interests, growing past the limitations that you put on yourself, that's always a good sign that you're on the right path. You know, you should always try to push yourself to be better and to evolve and to just continue to work on becoming a better version of yourself. You know, because throughout our lifetimes, like, we're gonna change a lot. Like, we're supposed to change, we're supposed to adapt. So if you're at a point where you're feeling stagnant, you're feeling like you're not growing, you're feeling like you're still the same person as you were last year or the year before that, you know, then maybe that's a sign that you need to switch it up. You need to move around. You need to find your way back to your path. And a third sign to know that you're on the right path would definitely be, are you receiving some positive feedback? And you know, this is kind of a tricky one because you're not always going to get positive feedback depending on this type of situation you're in. But the way I like to think about it is, you should always try to do what you're good at. You should always move towards what lights you up, what piques your interest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta like really tap into yourself and think about, what would I be doing if money didn't matter? What would I be doing on a day-to-day if I didn't have any other responsibility in the world? You know, what would I actually enjoy doing? And a lot of people don't even realize what their interests are, or like what they would actually, you know, consider pursuing, or what they would actually be good at, because we don't even take the time to explore that. And so that's the way I like to think about it. Like one, do what piques your interest, and two, follow what like do what you're good at, because what you're good at is actually like your gift to the world. You know, not to say like you're not gonna have to put in work, you're not gonna have to overcome challenges with whatever you do, but we all have natural abilities, we all have natural gifts that we're blessed with, and we are called to use them. You know, that's the whole point of having these gifts. That's the whole point of all of us being unique, because we all serve a purpose here on this earth, and we're all supposed to collaborate and work with each other and bounce ideas off of each other. So yeah, just do what you're good at, do what you love, do what you're passionate about, and use cues from other people to kind of help you figure that out as well. And that's where the positive feedback comes in. Oh, you're really good at explaining this concept. Oh, you're really good at, you know, making videos. You're really good at taking photos. You know, whatever kind of feedback you're receiving, kind of take that into consideration and really think about and give yourself credit for, you know, these natural abilities that you have, these natural gifts, you know, and then truly pour into them. It's one thing to have a natural gift, but it's another thing to have a natural gift and actually put in work towards it and take care and nurture whatever it is that you're good at, whatever it is that you love to do. Now, with all that being said, it's totally normal to have doubts. It's totally normal to still not know if you're on the right path, if you're doing the right thing, because obstacles and challenges are gonna come. When we are on the road to getting on the right path, to figuring out what our true purpose is, we're gonna have to figure out what's not in our path, what's not for us. And so that with that comes with a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges. But like, having resilience is key, and just having the faith and the confidence that you're going to figure it out, and that everything you're doing leading up into this point is only leading you in the right direction to fulfill your purpose, to get on that right path. So really just take some time and try to figure out, okay, so if you're sitting here, okay, so if you constantly fear not being on the right path, or you constantly worry about if you're doing the right things in your life, try to find some comfort in knowing that you can switch things up at any point. You can literally make a decision on a dime and things can be different. So don't ever feel trapped, don't ever feel stuck. If you feel like you're not on the right path, you can always pivot and try something new. But the whole point of this video is to really take note on how you feel in your everyday life. You know, you'll know if you're walking in your purpose, you'll know if you're walking in your path once you feel like things feel lighter, things give you energy, things light you up. And when those obstacles and challenges do come within that, like, how do you handle those? Are you adaptable? Like, are you determined? Do you have that resiliency to bounce back? Or does it just completely drag you down? Because that too will tell you if you're on the right path, you know, because if you are on the right path, you'll be able to bounce back. You'll be a little bit more determined to bounce back, and you'll know in your heart if that's the right thing to do. We just have to be brave enough to do it. Like, sometimes our paths might take unexpected turns. Just remember that everyone's path is unique, and keep your head up and keep moving forward. Like, you're gonna be fine. So whether you're on the right path or not on the right path, just really try to be mindful and take note of how things are making you feel, how people are making you feel, how your job is making you feel, how your social activities are making you feel. just tap into that. Are you feeling light, or are you feeling heavy? Are you feeling energized, or are you feeling drained? But either way, just know that you're in control of your life and you have the power to make a change if you need to make a change. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope all my rambling made sense to y'all. And if it did, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can see when I post a new video. I really appreciate you guys watching today. That's it.